Hey family, Dad here. Hope you're having a great day. On this video, I just wanted to talk about how much severance I have received from the 4 layoffs I've been through. So for a little background, I've been working for 25 years post-college. Majority of the time is, pretty much all the time has been sales. Majority of those roles have been in healthcare sales. So I've been laid off 4 times and I've shared that on a previous video. But this time I just wanted to share, how much severance I received after each layoff and any kind of other benefits during those times as well. So let's kind of rewind and back to 2009. That was my first layoff in October 2009. I was with the company for almost 3.5 years, and then the company got bought out in Q4 of 2008. And then a year later, they laid off half the employees, half the sales force, I should say, in the country, and I was part of that layoffs. For that layoff, I received 3 months of severance plus employment services. So employment services is like a third-party firm that'll help you kind of tweak your resume or put your resume together and kind of start your journey to finding another job. So with that severance, it was paid in a lump sum, the 3 months of pay for lump sum. And then as well, during that time, I applied for unemployment. So I found another job in January of 2010. And I worked there for pretty much almost 6 years during that time. It was a good company. I really enjoyed it. It was a small company, but really enjoyed my time there. Loved my manager. He was great. We had a great partnership together during that time. But I would say late 2015, probably in late Q2, early Q3, they started kind of restructuring. October of 2015, the company laid off 90% of their sales force. I think there was about roughly 80 reps across the country, and they kept all but 8 of them after it was all said and done. It was really hurtful because I really enjoyed my time with that company, but this one didn't hurt as bad as the first layoff. I think the first layoff, it was new to me. I wasn't really prepared for it, and it was a little more hurtful than the second layoff, the third layoff, and fourth layoff. So with this second layoff, I received 3 months pay once my employment was terminated. I did get to keep a few devices, such as the iPhone, iPad, and good stuff like that. They did give the option to purchase the vehicles that we had. We had company vehicles, and they provided an option to purchase that. I did not purchase it after my tenure there, but overall, it was, not a bad severance package. I did keep all the devices, iPad, iPhone, things like that. I did keep 3 months severance, which was in a lump sum. And again, I applied for unemployment right after that. So as we fast forward, the third layoff happened in 2022, December of 22. I received a 4-month severance on that one. So my tenure during that company was 1 year and 7 months, 8 months, right around there. This was the move I made in tech. So pretty much from 2006 up until 2021, I was in healthcare sales, and I decided I wanted to make a jump and see what the tech world looked like. It was with a huge e-commerce company, one of the biggest ones in the world, if not the biggest one in the world. I was intrigued, and I had an opportunity, and I took the jump and decided to see what the tech world was like. And then quickly right after that, probably about 9 to 12 months into it, I realized I didn't enjoy the job. I think it definitely showed in my productivity, especially the last 6 months I was with the company. And this was, mind you, the beginning of the tech layoffs, Q4 2022. And I was part of that layoff with this company. Like I said, I did receive 4 months of severance. It wasn't a lump sum. I got to keep some of the stock options that I already earned and all that kind of stuff, so that was good as well. So after that role, I decided to jump back into healthcare sales, and luckily, within 2 months, I found a new role. In February 2023, I started this new role with a healthcare company, and it was good. It was a good company. I really enjoyed it, but it didn't last that long. It did last, I want to say, about 1 year and 3 months. The organization restructured in April, I want to say, of 2024 of this year. They wanted to kind of go a different direction, and they kind of streamlined a lot of roles. So the sales force, I don't know, I think it was roughly around 500 people. They kind of reduced it down to, I think, 300 roughly. So there was less roles with different titles. And so with this reorganization, all the reps were laid off, and they were encouraged to apply for these new roles. And obviously there wasn't enough roles as far as headcount wise, and they encouraged us to apply. I did apply. I interviewed. I made it to the final interview, but I did not get the role. So with this role, I did receive 2.5 months worth of severance, which was pretty good actually, considering I've only worked there for a little over a year. So that was fun. This severance package, they did not pay me in a full lump sum. Rather, what they did was they just paid you normally, your normal pay period. So every 2 weeks, I would get a paycheck for, I think it was 10 weeks, for the next 10 weeks after my last day, which was the end of May. I did also maintain my health insurance. They provided that for 2.5 months, which was a great kind of little perk as well. And they also provided kind of employment services. Again, a third-party vendor that would help you kind of find your next role, next opportunity, and they would help you with your resume. Unfortunately, I never used any of their services. I just went ahead and just kind of applied for roles myself and tweaked my resume for each role that I applied to. And fortunately, I did find a role in June of 2024. So it was a quick turnaround after the 4th layoff in May. So as far as thoughts, looking back, you can definitely negotiate for more severance, but I have never been successful. I think US is different from other countries. I've heard from from friends in other countries that better severance packages due to kind of laws and policies in place for displaced workers who, are getting laid off. I did talk with an attorney on my 3rd layoff, but he stated it wasn't worth it. He didn't even charge me for the consult because it was a unique scenario I presented to him. But at the end of it, he just said it wasn't worth it. Probably just sign the severance package and just receive your benefits. And fortunately for me, all the roles that I've been laid off from, I was able to find a new role within 3 months. Now I know this, my first layoff happened in 2009, and then the most recent one was May of 2024. I've been very fortunate. I know there's other people there that haven't found roles, within 3 months. I know there's some people still waiting to find their next role. But for me, I was very fortunate to find a role within the 3 months after I was laid off. So when you do get laid off, there's going to be a lot of emotions. It can be definitely a struggle, both physically and emotionally. I think over the last few layoffs that I've had, I understand it's a business. Don't take it personal. It is going to be hard after your first or second layoff, but don't take it personal. It's just a business. You do have to move on. Turn the next page, start a new chapter in your life. After a few days of decompressing, move on. Plan your next moves and what you want to accomplish. So tell me your thoughts. What's your layoff experience been like? Anything different from mine? Comment, subscribe, and like. I would really appreciate it. So stay safe, stay positive, and be happy. Love you, Dad.